Okay, this is the video demo for the CS340 Ticket to Ride project. I am going to be just going over the application that you all will be building um, and basically the functionalities that you'll need to have. One thing to note before I kind of start going through the app, the GUI that you're going to see that we the TAs built is more advanced than you all need to build. I mean, if you want to make it really nice, knock yourselves out. But just the functionalities are what will be needed. And I will specifically point out some places where you can make it more or less advanced in your own projects. So as you can see, to start, you're going to need to have a login screen, and the login screen will just need to have a place for you to be able to sign in and to register. So I'm going to go ahead and register. I have my server up and running. This next screen is the game selection screen. So the basic functionalities of a game selection screen are to be able to create and join games. So I'm going to create a new game. I'm going to give the game a name, call it Hello. Okay. The number of players needs to be between 2 and 5. I'm going to go ahead and just leave this one at 4 and pick my starting color. Say OK. And then as you can see, the game appears in the list over here. In this list is where if you have multiple games or if you rejoin your server, all the games that are listed on the server will appear. So I'm going to go ahead and select the game that I want to join, come in here to the game waiting lobby. The game waiting lobby is just where all of the players will come in one by one as they're waiting for the game to start. As you can see over there on the right side, if the lobby is not full of 4 real players, it will get filled up with computer players. That's how we have it set up. AIs are extra credit, and that is not required. They will just be used to make the demo go faster. Okay, so I'm going to actually start the game. Here is the majority of the game. As you can see, the first thing that happens is it pops up and asks me to select 2 routes. So I'm just going to go ahead and select 2 routes. So the basic components of the game are that you're going to need to have some way to display a map with the routes that are available and the colors and the length of the routes. I've chosen to do that by putting that actually on the map. Something else that you could do is use like the left or right side of the screen and make a big list of paths. And inside there you could say the color and the number of length of the route. That's totally acceptable, and you'll still get full credit for that, and it is less complicated. And then I'm going to go ahead and just show you some of the basic functionalities. So on a person's turn, there are 3 functionalities. There are draw cards, place trains, and draw routes. So for my first one, I'm going to draw cards. We have it set up with drawers on the left and right side. Once again, you don't need to do that. That's just how we chose to save space. And as you select cards, they will be replaced with other cards. Little things like animations aren't necessary. We just did that so that when you select the card and it replaces it with the same color card, you can actually see that something happened. Another thing that you do need to have is over here on the bottom right hand corner, you will see a place where it tells you whose turn it is. The computer players just instantly draw cards and go through their turn, so it's very fast and you probably wouldn't be able to notice it. The last point of the GUI that I want to show to you is over here on the right side. We have another drawer. This is just information about the game. So you will see in here it tells you how many cards you have along the top underneath the player name. I have 2 rainbow cards, I have a green card, and I have a red card, and a white and a black as well. When you start the game, you get dealt 4 cards to start with. It tells you how many points each person has, how many trains they have left, the number of cards in each person's hand, and then the number of routes that each person has. You won't be able to see exactly which cards and which routes other players have, whether they've completed their routes or not either, only yourself. Over here on the far right hand side, you see that you have all the routes. These routes, we have it set up to turn green once you've completed them. You just need to have some way to be able to see the routes that you have and whether or not they've been completed. There's also a chat, so I can send messages to other people, be like, hi guys, and send that off, and that will appear up in this list. And then also you have the game history here. You'll see that as people, the AIs, they just draw cards, and then as well it shows that I took cards to start the game and things like that. So that's all the components of that slide out menu. And then as far as playing through the game, I'm not going to play through the entire game because I don't want this video to be ridiculously long, but at the end of our game it just locks this out and it shows the points to see who won. Something like that's totally acceptable. Just some way so that you can see that the game is finished and you can't continue to play will be required. The other things that we have in here is I can place trains on my turn. So when I place trains, it highlights the routes for me. You'll need to be able to see some way to see which routes you can and can't play on. And then when I click on a route, it just builds it right on there. You can do it, the way that I did this was using a canvas, making the click listeners really difficult. It would be much simpler if you want to for your GUI just to put everything in a list that you can just put click listeners right on. For time, that is recommended. The last thing that I wanted you to notice is over here on the bottom right, you can see who has the longest train. Currently I do. You'll need to have an algorithm working for that as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed.